What's up, guys? Have you ever actually considered that the reason that you suck in games is because you actually just suck? You're welcome. Have a good day. Alright guys, so this is something that all footballers go through from time to time, and I could of course spend all this time talking about your emotions and your feelings and blah blah blah, and those come into it, but what you should want are actual actionable steps to solve a problem that you definitely can, and that's what we're going to give to you today. So let's check it out.
Came through dripping Aquafina, I'm sipping 15, kept a weapon on me. Blow make bitches, I'm on my business, stack chicken like what it's gonna be. Crew in the cut, hey, you want us red rum.
All right, guys, so as we said, we have to touch on our emotions and feelings because they are playing a huge role in allowing you to play the same way in trainings as you do in games. And perspective is everything. So as you will know, it doesn't necessarily feel the same in training as it does in games, even though it kind of is the same thing. But it's no different than if I told you to walk on a sidewalk right here, you'd have no problem doing it. But if I move that same sidewalk 1,000 feet up in the air, we all have to take a deep breath before we try this because there are different consequences. The only difference in the game is that you've placed these consequences on you. You can still do it. Nothing should change. You can still walk in a straight line just down here as you could up there, and you absolutely can play the same way you do in training as you do in games, but you've psyched yourself out, all right? So you are the one allowing outside pressures, most likely, in order to dictate how you feel. So whether or not you're trying to impress the coach now, the fans, the girls, whoever it is that you are thinking about out there, you've changed from the same way that you are at training. All right, so I know, like I said, we're gonna have action steps and we are gonna get straight into those, but I want to address that obviously so that you guys understand that when you go into training and you go into games, if you take the same mentality from training and you can just slap that onto the games, you basically have solved the problem. And we don't even have to make the rest of this video, all right? But the ways to do that, we'll give you right now. All right, so now for the good stuff. We have to make a map, a way for you to get from point A to point B from playing the same way in trainings to games. What we have to do now is put consequences on you in training because that's what's going on in the games. You feel as if the consequences of making a mistake or an error in the game is much greater than it is in training. To a degree, you're right, but if you're not training well, you're not gonna be playing well, so they are definitely connected. So the way to do that, there are tons of anecdotes about Michael Jordan playing with just his left hand or having to score this many points in a half, and he would do that in training as well. You know, if you can pick up the same mentality, that killer mentality within your head of I'm gonna win this part, or I'm gonna make sure that all of my passes go through. If you create a game within a game, you will have done wonders for yourself, all right? Because you have turned the game internal to you, which is exactly what you want. You might have an external point of focus when you go into the games with the fans and the crowd and your friends and your family all hoping and wanting for you to do this and that, and whether you have people screaming on the sidelines telling you to make this pass and that, but you can't. That cannot be the game. You have to decide the game, and you can do that by getting in a habit of doing that in training. So when you play keep away in training and it's just 5-on-5 within a small area, you set your own standard. By doing that there consistently, every single drill, all right? By the time you get to the game and you set, all right, this is what I would love to have happen in this game. You go out before that game, you visualize, you sit down, take 3 to 5 minutes and just get an idea of what it is that you'd like for that outcome of the game. Don't take all the expectations from your friends, your family, and all the rest of those people. Take yours, but actually take some time before the game to set that, and then you'll be well on your way to achieving a much better performance in the game. All right, so this next point is a very important one for the simple reason that it sets you up for success. You don't want to go on tilt chasing a bad game because you started wrong. The best way to have success is to set a good foundation and then build from there. Recognize that the game is 90 minutes long, all right? Don't panic. We all watched PSG blow a massive lead to Barcelona, and the only way Barcelona was able to do that, besides Neymar balling out incredibly, is to understand that the game is long. So you have to play simple at the beginning. Make your first few passes. You don't have to go for that outside of the foot, amazing no-look through ball in the first 30 seconds of the game. Encourage your teammates. The positive feedback set the tone for the game. All right, don't go after every single player or everybody on your team who makes a mistake right there, like that. Encourage your teammates. If you see the positive in them, they will see it in you, all right? So set the tone for the game like that. These are very simple things. If you can wrap your brain and focus your mind on these things early on, the rest of the game will be easy. You'll find that if you can do those simple basic things, making your first few passes, setting the tone by going into a tackle hard but smart right at the beginning, so the other team understands how serious you are, so you understand how serious you're taking these, then you will find that later on throughout the game, those complex moments when it's time for you to do that, when you have to be called and ready to do those things, they will be much easier for you, okay? All right, so for this next to last point, it's important that you put your own spin on it, and it is a ritual. And I'm not necessarily talking about a ritual where you grab 3 chicken feet and the hair of Bigfoot. And then maybe the tears of a defender that you just burned. However, it's important that you know what works for you, and then you do that every time before a game without fail. This will, of course, as research has shown, allow you to create a habit which will draw a correlation between what you do before games and the success that you have after. Of course, you need to do this before training. So if you can do your habit and your ritual and your things that you're gonna do before training, this is obviously gonna help put you in the right state of mind. This is gonna start to blur those lines of training and game, allowing you to then perform better and be in the same mental state that you would be as you were in training, as you are in the game. So for me personally now, I used to always make sure that I was listening to music before. Maybe I would even watch clips and highlights of my favorite players or my own from games before. A lot of the idea there being to put in success into your head, have that stuff. That way later on you can unleash them and use them in the game. So figure out what it is that you like to do. If you want to put one sock on first, like this, and then that, or whether or not it has to do directly within your warm-up. But we have a video specifically talking about these things. So they are some of the top 5 or top 10 hacks that players can do. We will link to that somewhere here or down in the description, so check that out. But creating a ritual behind what you do before trainings and then taking that and doing it into the game is going to help you, all right? So that can be as expansive as you want it, or it can be as simple as you want it. And you see some players before they enter the field, they touch themselves right here, they do this, they're doing the sign of the cross, or whatever it is that they want to do, but that helps get them in that state. It may look funny to you, it doesn't really matter. What you want are results, and this is something that you have to search for within yourself to figure out what will work for you, and then apply that in trainings and in the game, and go ball. All right, guys, so this last point is something that we've said before. It's something that we continually talk about, and it is something that we will never stop talking about because it's important. And you might have come to this video looking for the magic key, the magic potion, the one thing that you need to do to switch this, not realizing that most of these things are a journey, that you're gonna have to figure this out as you go, that it's a process, that it's not gonna happen overnight. But this last one is meditation and visualization, both of which have been scientifically proven to help you perform better in high stress situations. So whether or not the problems that you're having when going into a game have to deal with stress and anxiety, which for a lot of you, I'm sure they do, because we all get it as players. There are different situations in games that cause anxiety and stress, whether it's taking a PK or a free kick, or it's the 90th minute and you whatever it is, all right? These things will give you a good foundation and an ability to handle those moments. So we've talked about visualization. We have videos on it. You know, we can definitely make more videos on meditation or visualization and the simple thing, and not at all pertaining to a spiritual journey or anything like that. Obviously, mindfulness in its practice. And look right down below, there's a link. We've got some great friends who have an amazing sports meditation app. So check that out. That'll do everything for you right there. And we've actually made some content for them. So check that out. But in all honesty, every single one of you guys should be making sure that this is on point for you. Now, the thing is, it doesn't take much time for you to get the benefits of a visualization or a meditation practice. If you want to put in 5 minutes or 10 minutes here and you hope to see some results in your game, that's cool and that's fine. If you can allot 15 minutes every day or in the morning or at the night, whatever it is, the point is to just get started. And I'm sure there are a few of you guys who are just tired of hearing this, and I don't really give a shit, because it helps, it will work. And those of you that take the time to allow this to be something that will benefit you in your games and in your greater portion of your life will understand this. So please let us know right down below if you've taken our advice on these things and seen an improvement. And also let us know if there are any other things that you do in your games or that have worked for you, so some of the other guys can check those out. Please let us know. Let us also know where you're from, what you're up to, what you want Team Goluremi to do next, and we will see you guys later, all right? All right, guys, that's the vid. Make sure to check out GOLUREMI.com, check out our Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all of that stuff. Sign up for the newsletter, GOLUREMI.com, subscribe, and we will see you guys later. Peace. Peace, I said. Peace.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, hit is go, lu, re, mi, control all them boys from Kansas.